Are you tired of the yo-yo dieting and find it hard to lose weight? And now you really want to eat right, feel healthier, and stay consistent with what you're doing. If you're ready to change your lifestyle and find a way to get healthy without dieting, then dig into this episode. I'm going to be giving 3 tips so that you can stop dieting, get healthy, and actually lose weight and keep it off. Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michelle, mom of 4 and military wife. I have my doctorate in physical therapy and I'm an online personal trainer, health coach, and yoga teacher. Do you wish that you had more energy and could get into shape? Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight? Maybe you've tried a diet before, but it just wasn't sustainable, and now you don't know how to get started. We're going to look at health holistically here, and most importantly, keep things simple and quick. If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably without long workouts or following strict diets, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, I bring together my expertise with real life strategies. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. I'm so excited for this episode today because this is what I work on with my clients. A lot of people who come to work with me have done the dieting. Anytime they want to lose weight, they're always thinking, what diet should I do? It has to be extreme to work, right? Well, we're going to sort of debunk a little bit of that today and really go back to this idea of healthy habits. Because when we start to create new habits that are healthy and that we can sustain, that is when we start to lose the weight, keep it off, improve how our body is functioning, and really feel good. So this is inspired by recently I did a habit challenge with my clients, and I'm going to do another healthy habit challenge starting August 14th for my clients. So if you're listening to this and you want to get in on it, go ahead and send me a message, reach out to me on social media, or send me an email. So in this healthy habits challenge, we're going to be using these basics of what I'm talking about today. We're going to create habits around movement, around strength training, and around nutrition, but in a way that is doable. So I'm not going to be saying exactly how much movement someone should be getting because that's going to be different for everybody. Because when you're creating a new habit, you want something that is doable and that you can do most of the time. So with this challenge, we're specifically going to be a little more strict, hoping that you meet that habit every day. So what one person has may not be the same for a next person. But when we take a whole month and we really start to stay consistent with some of these basic habits for our health, that is where we start to see the difference, where we start to feel good and our body starts to feel better. We start to move better. And the challenge is just a really fun way to do this. You get to be in community with other people and you really get to challenge yourself a little bit more about staying consistent. Instead of doing something really hard, you're challenging yourself to stay consistent. So if this is something you would be interested in, I encourage you to set up a free call. So if you check the description down below, you're going to see a link to get on my calendar and schedule a call. And we'll see if this challenge is a good fit for you and really talk through what your struggles are, what your goals are, and what you think is doable. What are you going to be able to do most days that is going to point the needle in a direction of more health for you? All right, so let's dig into these 3 tips. So my first tip is to always start something that you can stick with. So this is where diets don't work, because if you can't stick with it, you're not going to keep seeing the results. So whenever you go to start something, think, is this something I can stick with? So if you want to walk 10,000 steps a day, is that something you can stick with? Or do you have quite a few days where things pop up and you won't be able to get in 10,000 steps? And it's always find that little bit of how can I push myself to really get to where I want to go, but how can I keep things doable? And this is what I do on coaching calls when I have weekly calls with my clients is you have to readjust each week. So if something's not working, if there's a struggle, if there's a block, sometimes there's something you can tweak or change to make yourself more successful so that you can stick with something. And as we're talking about this idea of starting something you can stick with, sometimes you need to notice where you have the less resistance to. So a while back, I really wanted to read my Bible in the morning, but my body was feeling a lot of resistance to getting up and doing that in the morning. It's typically something I do now, but at that time, it was a lot of resistance and it really just wasn't happening. And it wasn't a good positive mindset. So I shifted it to the night, even though I really wanted to start that in the morning. But I was able to stick with it and stay more consistent in the evening with that. So sometimes you have to notice where that resistance is in your body. Is it something you can work through or change, or is it something you just aren't ready to do right now? And that's okay. The other thing I want you to think about when you're ready to stop dieting is tip number 2 is to focus more on daily habits versus your goal. So I want you guys to think here. A goal, you might have a goal to lose a certain amount of weight or do something like that. But if we can think of what really matters, it doesn't matter what your goal is. It matters those daily habits, those daily actions you're taking. And this is why when I work with clients, as I'm creating this healthy habits challenge, it's all about habits. It's all about that daily action that you're taking. So it is great to have your goals. It is great to actually visualize your goals and do some of these other things. But you have to know what that daily habit, that daily action is you can take almost every day to get you there. You need that action piece. So one thing that I do every morning, and it also serves multiple purposes, is I have my Organifi green juice. So one, I am getting about 16 ounces of water in right away in the morning. I also put some protein in there. So I'm getting protein, and then I'm obviously getting my Organifi greens that give me energy, give me micronutrients, and has adaptogen herbs right in it. So this is one thing I do every day. And again, that has multiple purposes, but it makes me feel better when I drink that. And if you're interested in trying Organifi's green juice, there's a link down below. You can use the code HEALTHY20 to save 20% off. All right, so think, what is that daily action I can take every day and really focus on that, really fine tune what that is? So tip number 3 is find multiple ways to measure your success. So a lot of times when people are looking to lose weight, they are holding weight loss up on a pedestal. And here I am raising my hand up high. So when we hold weight loss up on a pedestal, that's all we're focused on. And when that's all we're focused on, we're not going to get as good of results because our body weight is going to fluctuate a little bit from hormones, from salt intake, from different things too that may not even have to do with actual weight loss. Because when we're talking weight loss, I want people to focus more on fat loss versus weight loss. And we don't even have to track this. But I want you to start to realize all these other ways that you can measure success. And as we're talking about weighing here, I just want to talk real quick about weighing yourself. So some people who weigh themselves every day, I typically find that those people are less successful because that is all they're focused on. And again, tip number 2, we need to focus on those daily habits. No matter what the outcome is, we do need to look at things and see if we're on track, if we're progressing. But we need to take daily actions every day, no matter if our weight goes up or down when we're dealing with weight loss and when we're trying to lose weight. So thinking about other ways you can measure success. So one of my clients, she has just started walking more and walking with her son. And one thing she has noticed pretty quickly within a couple weeks is that she's able to walk further. She's less out of breath and she's just feeling better. And to me, she is also losing weight. But to me, we need to hold that up on a pedestal, how we're feeling, how we're breathing, how we're able to move our body. And that should matter more than the weight loss. That's a bigger marker of our health and how our body is doing. So some other ways to measure success could be the size of your clothes. You could do a waist circumference. You could with a tape measure. Also really notice how you're feeling. How does it feel to go up and down a flight of stairs? And it's going to be a subjective measurement. And that is where some people who like very objective, strict measurements get stuck with weight loss. And some of these other things are more subjective. How does it feel? But going up and down stairs is a great way to notice if you're making improvements in your health. Also, just noticing if you're eating more vegetables than you used to. Maybe your body's feeling a little better. Maybe you're having more energy. So really taking note of some more of these subtle things, because a lot of times we're not really tuned into our body. We're not as tuned into how we're feeling or those little improvements that we're making, but those are super important. So if you guys enjoy this episode, head to my Facebook group, Healthy Beyond 40, and tell me what your favorite tip is here. So number one, we had start with something that you can stick with, because how many times have you started with something you cannot stick with and it did not go well? Number two, focus more on daily habits. So we want our goal, but daily we really want to be focusing on the habits and actions we're taking. Number three is find multiple ways to measure your success. Do not hold weight loss up on a pedestal. Think about all these other ways your health is improving. All right, so head to my Facebook group. Let me know that favorite tip of yours. And also, if you guys want to get in on my Healthy Habits Challenge, it will be a 4-week reboot where we're going to focus on movement, strength training, and nutrition. Head to that link down below and schedule a free call with me, and we can figure out if this challenge is right for you and how we can set the challenge up so that you can be successful and feel good about yourself and start making progress. All right, guys, keep on moving and have a great week.